The Saints Row franchise was once gaming royalty for taking what everyone loved about the Grand Theft Auto formula and cranking it up to 11.
There's probably going to be things in this game that get me hella demonetized.
So here you're seeing the President of the United States in
from the crack house to the White House.
Exactly.
Right?
So after an 8-year drought filled with nothing but disappointment, fans were hyped to hear that the original creators would be working on a reboot.
It's definitely time to get on the hype train because Saints Row is coming back.
The Saints are marching in on August 23rd.
Finally, after 8 damn years.
And to see that everyone reacts so positively once they found out that it's Saints Row feels pretty gratifying to know that okay, great, we've been on the right track.
However, as more of the game gets revealed,
but why does everybody always have to have the half-shaven head?
That excitement becomes concern.
Volition, this is not what we wanted. This is not what anyone wanted.
Where's the grit? Where's the gangster? Where's the hood?
As gamers start to notice that something's gone terribly wrong.
What's the funniest joke in the game? Don't worry, we'll bleep it out.
The funniest joke.
All the out-of-touch marketing.
We've created a set of characters that you're going to want to invite in your living room every day.
Idols are trying to build a post-capitalist society where money is not a concept.
Employees fighting with fans on social media.
They said it won't be as edgy as its predecessors. Are going for like a new thing.
It's so insane. It's like they hate their own players.
And in the end, a game so universally panned that it put its creators out of business.
This really feels like a game Saints Row would have been making fun of 10 years ago.
But believe it or not, this was supposed to be the long-awaited return to form for the series.
Yeah. Who this guy?
So how did it go from gang simulator to paying off student loans? The first game was simple. You start out as a new member of the 3rd Street Saints, and through doing missions and taking down rival gangs, you work your way up to becoming the boss. It's not groundbreaking by any means, but it sets just the right foundation.
We're taking a slightly different approach to the gameplay in that we're trying to make it as open-ended and freeform as possible.
You can change your primary paint color, but there's also several other paint colors you can change.
The second game perfects the formula, doubling down on what made the first one stand out from GTA. It's the little things. The insurance fraud minigame, the septic truck missions. They give the players an overwhelming sense of freedom.
One of my favorite things to do was to walk up to an old homeless person and throw up all over them while they were sleeping.
We're equal opportunity offenders. We do everything against everyone and just have fun with it.
Then Saints Row the Third hits, and things get a little messy.
We got some Saints Row the Third, a lot of punching fools in the junk apparently.
New directors, new producers, the founder leaving, and the result, the tone shifts radically into pure comedy and spectacle. While it attracts a mainstream audience, longtime fans start to feel like they've been left behind.
It felt like very much a dividing line where Volition was ignoring the history of the franchise and trying to create a game for a new audience.
And with Saints Row 4, even more so.
What is that one thing that you think in this game that everyone is going to be taught? What can we get trending on Twitter today?
For me, it was always about really strong, interesting characters that made Saints Row Saints Row. And I feel like that kind of was maintained. And especially, I think 4, for me, was a really good moment where, you know, you have the romance between Gat and the player. Like, I actually teared up when I heard that the first time.
Nothing ever made me feel alive like you did. And I always thought it was just because I was depressed, but seeing you now has made me realize how much I need you. I know I'm not Aisha, and I'm not trying.
You see, Volition was in the middle of developing a DLC expansion for Saints Row 3, when suddenly, their publisher THQ filed for bankruptcy. That's when Deep Silver swoops in and buys Volition, then tells them to take that DLC and turn it into an entire game. Fans call it out for essentially being Saints Row 3 with superpowers.
I mean, obviously I knew it couldn't be as good as the first 2 games, but I figured it could be at least a half-decent game, unlike Saints Row 3.
Even Volition feels like they've written themselves into a corner.
So I'm skipping ahead a little bit. Saints Row 5, is he a god?
No spoilers.
Okay. People are saying they're having a hard time playing 3 because after 4 they can glide. It's like, why do you have vehicles when you can glide now?
That's when suddenly, Steve Jaros, someone who many consider to be a key creative force behind the entire series, decides it's time to move on and goes to work at Valve. Similarly, director Scott Phillips goes to work at Ubisoft.
And this time we're joined by Scott Phillips, who is a game director on Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
After a few years with the series floating in limbo, rumors start to spread that Volition may be working on a Saints Row return to form, finally giving the old fans what they've been asking for. However, Deep Silver decides they want to take things in a much more profitable direction. In 2016, they unveil Agents of Mayhem, a hero shooter with Saints Row branding plastered all over it.
Volition, known for obviously the Saints Row franchise, now doing something completely new, but inspired by the zany wackiness. All right, well, let's take a look at the live demo right now and see. So again, you guys are known for kind of
The first ever single-player hero shooter, and the first Saints Row game without co-op.
I know you mentioned sort of like 80s design. Talk a bit more about how that informed your decision-making in the design.
One of the big inspirations is like something like G.I. Joe, where you have this agency of characters. They're all different. They all work together. Here we have Daisy.
Yep.
She's our roller derby girl. Sort of doesn't take everything too seriously.
Yeah. All right. Well, very cool to see Volition doing something new and different. There's got to be something. So people that complain they're not at big games in the summer, here's one.
It launches to a 60 on Metacritic and only sells 67,000 copies in the first week. To most fans, it's a desperate attempt at a cash grab, and even the most diehard Saints Row fans start to lose hope.
I was actually excited for this release because I like Saints Row 2, 3, and 4. These are all games that I played because it had sexual humor. I gotta give Agents of Mayhem on a scale of 1 to 10 a 5.
We saw the trailer for Johnny Gat, so you'll be able to play as him as a character.
Right. Oh, really?
Yep, we're super
that's
excited
fun.
about it. Basically, pre-order on Steam or GameStop, and you'll be able to get
Johnny Gat.
As a result of the failure, they have to lay off several employees and head back to the drawing board. The way corporate sees it, either they make something good or go bye-bye. First, they recruit some old faces to come back and help.
I'm putting together a team, people with special abilities.
Volition founder Mike Coolhouse returns after 8 years to be general manager. Producer Jim Boone comes back as chief creative officer, and they get longtime environmental artist Brian Traficante to creative direct. And Idle Ninja, who also goes by Matt Watson, is there as community developer to be the voice of the fans.
You probably know me as Idle Ninja. Used to do all sorts of modding stuff, and became, through the course of some craziness, the community manager there.
The first pitches are straight to the point. Saints Row 2.5, featuring the gang from the previous games in some form, but with a more grounded story and characters, deeper gameplay mechanics, and a tone pulled back from presidents with superpowers to street-level gang stuff. So far, things are looking great. Volition even does a live stream in front of some Saints Row 1 artwork to spread the news.
In previous streams, talked about our mystery game that we're working on. We can at least finally be slightly less vague. We are making a new Saints Row. I figured, hey, why don't we get, the directors who are working on the new Saints Row to talk a little bit.
It's finally happening. Then the executives come in with a different idea. Their main goal? To make a game that appeals to the youngins. What are the college kids like today?
Selfie. I'm just dude, oh my god, can we talk about, the political and economic state of the world right now?
They hire the best writers they can find on Fiverr and get to work. Instead of a gang of good-looking, hardened criminals with no morals and massive egos, how about a group of skinny, relatable college students that are environmentally conscious?
You have a job now. You could actually just take the loan.
Eli, I don't do business with morally bankrupt companies. You are a different kind of cat, Eli. I love that you're worried about fuel efficiency, but
Your carbon footprint always matters.
Marketing. Start up the hype train. The Saints Row website turns into a picture of a wall.
I bet you weren't expecting to come back to such an exciting still image.
It's definitely time to get on the hype train because Saints Row is coming back.
It appears at this point fans are so hungry for something new that they'll take just about anything.
Just from looking at this wall, we're kind of falling into the middle to old school category, and I hope that's a hint that they're trying to ground themselves more towards their roots while also keeping the outrageous fun factor.
But fans notice that as time goes on, did you see that? The wall starts to change, just like a real one. Now this is the next-gen Saints we were hoping for.
The wall is changing, so keep refreshing saintsrow.com and maybe you'll find something completely different.
I believe they'll show every gang with a graffiti, and maybe in the end, leave something, something spicy for us.
We have a furry DJing up here. Is there a furry equivalent to dubstep? Yiff step, perhaps?
Then, suddenly out of nowhere, a date appears. It's referring to a date just 5 days from now. Then a tweet from Jeff Keighley confirms.
Stay tuned for Gamescom 2021.
They need this W, you feel me? After the L they took for Agents of Mayhem, they gotta get this W. So I'm freaking excited, guys. So what are you guys' thoughts? Are you excited?
And it's been fun to see people kind of guess what Volition be working on all this time, and then to see that everyone reacts so positively once they found out that it's Saints Row feels pretty gratifying to know that okay, great, we've been on the right track.
Okay, so I guess we should just jump in.
Oh, jeez, bro.
They show off the official story trailer, and some people do like it.
Here we go, guys. Looks good. Basically, Saints Row 3. Yeah.
They shot the dealer.
That is so unprofessional.
Saints Row humor.
Volition took a really fresh approach to Saints Row this time around. I think it's evident by that awesome trailer.
It doesn't seem like it has like the same like edgy humor that the past Saints Rows did.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe the past humor is a little dated. So
Yeah.
it still curse a lot, so it has that part. So.
But for most gamers, it feels like an act of war. Dislikes on the revealed trailer skyrocket.
I mean, Saints Row 4's announcement wasn't even this poorly received.
Even though it's just a story trailer, to most gamers, it's clear the tone of it is off.
Get the away from my friends.
Bro, guys, should I rebrand my channel and talk about other games, man? I'm gonna...
After Agents of Mayhem, they are lucky to get a second chance, and now this reboot is already off to the worst reception I've ever seen for a Saints Row game.
Some designers still claim it's Saints Row 2.5 through and through.
Alright, let's get this out of the way. What tone was the team going for with this game?
Somewhere between Saints Row 2 and Saints Row 3.
Until Jim Boone shoots all those hopes down. We love those games, but we also recognize that those are games of a time. We were able to do things that felt good back then, but that tone is not something we feel we even want to do today.
What?
Ultimately, we discovered that the game itself is about being your own boss.
What?
Being true. Being you. About being self-made.
Jesus, man. Volition, this is not what we wanted. This is not what anyone wanted.
To me, this is not Saints Row. It's just a game that has the title Saints Row in the title.
Why does everybody always have to have the half-shaven head? This is not Saints Row. Where's the grit? Where's the gangster? Where's the hood?
And as more aspects of the game get revealed, the response just gets worse.
They've shown off how you can customize your dong.
And worse.
We're shown a quarter of the gameplay publicly, released with some interruptions from this Bryce Charles woman that's only making people more pissed off.
Soon, the developers confirm fans' worst fears. This new, modern gang of saints is full of, quote, millennials that turn to a life of crime to put food on the table, feel part of a community,
and pay off student loans.
And we wanted people to feel powerful and go and do anything, and that they didn't feel like a scrub, right?
We've created a set of characters that you're going to want to invite in your living room every day.
But you call yourself gangbangers?
The beauty of the old characters was even if I loved them, I wouldn't invite them in a 100-mile radius of my house.
Keep It Strange fits like a glove. It was practically tailor-made for Saints Row. Embrace your weirdness, embrace your identity, and revel in it.
The idols.
They're self-styled anarchists. They see themselves as icons in the new world order.
We wanted to create a whole new world that each of our players can feel included in.
It is this weird combination that I don't see in any other games out there of humor, of over the top, and of badass.
Cool, only a few months away. I love it. If it doesn't get delayed.
Do we still get some wild moments?
Oh, yes.
What's something wild that happens in this game?
Wingsuiting down off of an exploding sign to crash an idol's rave so that you can then get revenge by killing them all.
Meanwhile, Volition's social media pages are a battleground. You see, just 3 days after the reveal, Mike Watson, aka Idol Ninja, one of the only people in the studio vouching for fans, passes away. Now it's all up to Volition to give the fans what they want, and the community manager position is given up to people that don't know how to handle the criticism. One person says, "I know you won't listen, but if you want fans to stop complaining, maybe just replace these clowns and give us some real Saints. Doesn't even have to be the old crew. That would honestly clear up a lot of the hate you guys are getting." At Saints Row responds promptly. Just a simple gif. Haters gonna hate.
Best thing to do is ignore this sort of thing, but you bring attention to it. That's the worst thing you can do, because you can't help yourself.
Needless to say, the backlash gets even worse. Suddenly, legions of gamers flood the reply section ready for a fight, and At Saints Row gives it to them. We are not backing down on this game. We get it. It's new. And it's a shock reaction to a reboot like no other. The GIF was supposed to convey that. All this does is add fuel to the fire. Now there's gaming news outlets talking about it, and Volition doesn't look good. All they could do is say these community managers aren't official employees. Eventually, only a few months after the reveal, Volition decides to delay the game by 6 months.
Saints Row got delayed and no one cares.
It's not enough time to make any big changes, but it gives people some hope that it'll at the very least be polished.
To be honest, I am terrified for Volition. There is a lot of angry people, and if this game doesn't sell, this is it for the company.
Fast forward to August 2022. Players boot up the game.
Opening it, there's a bug that doesn't let you go past the launcher. Yeah, I saw that.
Scratch that. Some of them do.
But I also found the solution. You just keep opening and closing it till it accidentally lets you play this pile
And
of
if they made it past the start screen without it crashing, there's a long list of other problems waiting for them.
I was expecting something pretty average. I didn't think I'd love it, but I didn't think I'd hate it. I really was not expecting something so aggressively bad in almost every aspect.
The polish is nowhere to be found.
Turn right. I like
Pictures.
I'm trying to get over this building. Over the building.
Oh my god, what happened to all the fucking cars?
To call the game unfinished is an understatement.
Even after all the patches, the game is still far from what fans were hoping for.
The writing in this game is horrifically bad.
Now most of the raunchy humor is gone, and people simply swear more while mentioning something ironic about class and society.
Hey, the wage slave is back.
How was your first day? You know, as far as hired killers go, I'd give him a 7.
I can tell you love it.
Okay. I don't have to love it. I have to pay my student loans. Amen.
And by the end of the game, even if you can pay off your character's student loans, there's no guarantee you'll be able to afford their $18 hot sauce they advertise throughout the game.
We have these like sauces which are making really a lot of money, and we want to hurt the fans. That's the thing, we want to hurt them. Honestly, we don't care about games anymore, we care about barbecue.
Now Volition's in serious trouble.
Maybe let's destroy this community. Let's destroy it, like look at this. Boom, destroyed, the community is destroyed. That's the point of this. There's no more Saints Row.
And not just with fans. While the exact sales numbers aren't public, the numbers are apparently low enough to cause Embracer, the umbrella company over Deep Silver and Volition, to see a dip in their stock price. The CEO speaks on the matter, calling it disappointing. He also says the reception to the game is, quote, very polarizing. You could say that. Eventually, after Volition finishes work on their pre-planned expansions, Embracer announces a corporate restructuring. They're forced to close their doors, effective immediately.
So enjoy our final love letter to you, an unfinished DLC that you paid over $100 for.
Deep Silver says Saints Row will live on at another developer, leaving the future uncertain. There's also a Saints Row 2 patch which Idle Ninja was working on that would fix the barely playable PC port, but he never got to finish it. After he passed away, he was memorialized in the new Saints Row game, and the patch was handed off to others at Volition.
The elephant in the room is that no one really believes a patch for a game that's over 15 years old is going to be worth the time and money. Tons of people are losing their job in the game industry with mass layoffs happening nearly every week, from Embracer no less. If money is a priority, then this patch is done for. And sadly, that's all I know. Only time can tell if it ever comes out, or if they'll cancel it.